Hey guys, how's it going? I'm just out on the sandbars here with Leanna. She is doing some solo work. We're doing some circuits, basically from the sandbars here on the Fraser River. And I just thought I'd take a minute today and answer a question that some people ask, which is, why does a student need solo time? What's the advantage of a student flying solo during their commercial license, their 100 hours? Is that not 35 hours that are wasted? They could be doing training instead. And it's a valid question. It's a really good question that some people ask. And I just thought I'd take a couple minutes and tell you a little bit about, from my experience, the advantages of solo time. So obviously, to be clear, it is a Transport Canada requirement. All commercial students are required to do a minimum of 55 hours of dual flight, 35 hours of solo, and then there's 10 hours that can be used either for dual or solo. Obviously, one advantage of solo flying is that it is pilot and command time. So in the student's logbook down the road, it will show up as PIC. So that's very valuable time they need for other things, other requirements down the road. But more importantly than that, it is a requirement by Transport Canada, and it's there for a specific reason. So while it's true that a student going solo is obviously not going to be doing anything new, no emergencies, any of the more advanced, more difficult exercises, what they will be doing is they'll be doing a lot of basic maneuvers that they've practiced, that they're well familiar with, that their instructor has signed them out to do. So things like circuits, maybe some more simple confined areas, a lot of this more simple exercises that they're just trying to perfect and get better. So the question then is, why would Transport Canada mandate or require solo time? And I don't know if there's a exact straightforward answer, but I can tell you from experience that students flying solo feel very different than they do when they're flying dual. After doing hundreds, thousands of debriefs from students that have come back from solos, there's always interesting, unique things that they bring up that they wouldn't have necessarily had to make those decisions or face those situations if they were with an instructor beside them. As an instructor, we try and do our best to, not constantly be making corrections and talking to the student. We like to let them make as many decisions as possible, especially as they get past the basic flight training. But having said that, it's very hard to not step in and make a small correction, make a small suggestion when a student is doing something wrong. So the experience of flying dual, as much as we try our best to let the students make all the decisions, it's almost impossible to completely do that. So what happens is, when the student is out solo, they end up having to make all those decisions themselves. And they get to face the stress of that situation. They get to face decisions of, hey, is the weather good for me to continue on with the flight that I'm planning to do today? Or should I be changing my plans? And that can be stressful, those decisions. And if the instructor is always there to make those for the student, or at least to be able to guide that decision, then it is hard for the student to ultimately become a pilot when they finally have to fly solo and they're now faced with all those decisions every single time. So that's just a brief glimpse into why solo is a thing, why it's a requirement, and why it is actually really important and really valuable. So as I said, I'm out with a student right now, and she's just doing some circuits here at the sandbars. I'm just sitting here and loving the fact that I'm out in nature. I get to sit here and watch helicopters, see the beautiful area that we live in British Columbia, and just a little bit of insight on why we do solos. Have a great day, and as always, be safe.